They told you kindness would make the world better, that helping others makes you a good man. But they didn't tell you what it costs. They didn't tell you about the pain, the betrayal, the emptiness. That being too kind could destroy your identity, your ambition, and even your sanity. These are the 7 hidden ways kindness is destroying your life, and how Stoic wisdom can save it. Section 1. You will have too high of hopes for people. You give and you wait. You expect people to see your sacrifice, to appreciate your time, your effort, your loyalty, but they don't. They text you when they need something. They forget your name when you're not useful. They take your kindness like it's free refills, and never once ask how much is costing you inside. You keep waiting. Waiting for someone to reciprocate, for someone to say, you matter too. But the longer you wait, the more hollow it feels. The world doesn't operate on fairness. It responds to patterns. And when your pattern is to give without limit, others learn to expect it, not respect it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Harsh? Yes. But this is not pessimism. It's preparation. When you live with high hopes for people, you've already handed them the keys to your inner peace. And when those expectations are shattered, so are you. You'll feel used, unseen, and deeply disappointed. But the truth is, they're not letting you down. They're just doing what you should have done all along, putting themselves first. Section 2. People will expect you to always give. Give once and they'll thank you. Give twice and they'll expect it. Give 3 times and it becomes your duty. You were just trying to be helpful. But now, somehow, it's become your responsibility to fix everything, carry everything, sacrifice everything. And the worst part, you let it happen. Every time you said yes when you meant no, you trained them. You trained them to believe your time isn't valuable, that your needs come last, that your kindness is bottomless. You've become the man who always helps, but who no one helps. And the more you give, the less they see you. Seneca warned us of this trap. He who is everywhere is nowhere. When you give yourself to everyone, you belong to no one, not even yourself. That's the danger. You're not just losing time or energy. You're losing identity. You're no longer a person with vision and goals. You're a tool, a backup plan, a name in someone else's contact list they scroll to when they need something. And this doesn't happen because people are evil. It happens because they adapt. And if all you've shown them is unlimited kindness, they'll assume it comes without cost. Section 3. Your goals will be ignored. Every time you say yes to someone else's chaos, you say no to your own clarity, your fitness plan, your book, your business, your freedom. They all die quietly in the background while you're fixing everyone else's life. You call it compassion, but it's neglect. The kind no one sees because it's happening inside you. Self-abandonment disguised as kindness. The Stoics warned us that living without purpose is a form of slavery. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Seneca. And yet, Most men are drifting, not because they're lazy, but because they've been taught that sacrificing their path for others makes them good. It doesn't. It makes them empty. You can't lead, protect, or serve from a place of burnout and bitterness. And you'll feel it in the pit of your stomach. Every time you say yes when you want to say no. You'll feel it when your weekends disappear, when your goals collect dust, when the life you imagined becomes a memory, not a plan. This is where resentment is born, not because people are cruel, but because you abandon your post. The Stoics taught us to protect our time, our energy, and our direction, not out of selfishness, but out of duty. Because a man without a mission isn't kind. He's lost. Section 4. People will think you're weak. You were taught that being kind makes you likable, that giving, helping, and saying yes will win you trust. But in the real world, especially for men, kindness without strength gets you one thing: disregarded. When you always yield, when you never push back, when you tolerate everything, people don't think, "What a great guy." They think, "He can be used." And they will, not because they're evil, but because humans test boundaries. It's instinct. The man who never draws a line invites others to cross it. The Stoics understood this. They weren't soft philosophers sitting in temples. They were warriors, rulers, slaves, and leaders who lived in brutal conditions and still chose inner strength over emotional collapse. Marcus Aurelius led armies and ruled an empire, yet his private journals were filled with reminders like, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." That's what people respect: stillness, strength, boundaries. But if you give everything to everyone, you'll become invisible, not loved, not admired, just available. And no one respects what's always available. So when people start talking over you, dismissing your time, ignoring your effort, don't ask, "Why are they treating me this way?" Ask, "When did I stop acting like someone they should respect?" Section 5. You'll attract users, not givers. When you give without limits, you won't attract gratitude. You'll attract dependence, not the kind that builds connection, but the kind that builds chains. You've seen it before. The friend who only calls when he's broke. The coworker who always asks for help, but disappears when you need backup. The partner who expects emotional support, but never checks on your storms. These people aren't looking for connection. They're looking for relief, and you've become their escape plan. They don't invest, they consume, and slowly, your life fills with people who expect your kindness, like it's a bill you owe. The Stoics taught us that we become the average of who we spend time with. But more importantly, we become what we tolerate. The wise man chooses his company as carefully as his words. Seneca. When you tolerate users, you start to shrink. You adjust your standards. You lower your guard. You accept that one-sided loyalty is just how things are. But here's the truth. When your kindness has no boundaries, it becomes bait. Bait for the broken, the entitled, the emotionally lazy. And the stronger you become, the lonelier you'll feel until you make the shift, not to become cold, but to become selective. Kindness is a virtue, But disciplined kindness is a weapon, and most men never make that upgrade. Section 6. You could develop addictions. When you give too much, something inside you begins to rot. You smile in public, but you're drained in private. You show up for everyone else, but who shows up for you? You say, "I'm fine," but your nights tell the truth. You stay up too late, ordering takeout you don't even want, staring at a screen, watching lives you're not living. Maybe it's the third drink that takes the edge off, or scrolling through TikTok until 2 a.m. because your brain is too fried to think, but too starved to rest. These aren't thrill addictions. They're escape addictions. You're not chasing pleasure, you're running from depletion. The Stoics taught that discipline is freedom. But when you overextend yourself for others, you drain the very willpower you need to stay free. He who indulges in pleasures will lose control of himself. Seneca. What starts as self-sacrifice becomes self-destruction. You look strong on the outside, but every late night, every dopamine hit, every quiet binge is the soul's way of screaming, "You're neglecting me." And eventually, the thing you used to cope becomes a thing you can't quit. All because you didn't set boundaries. All because you confuse being needed with being whole. But here's the truth. You can't be whole for others if you're broken inside. Section 7. People will become suspicious of you. In the beginning, they love you for being kind, but eventually, they question it. Why is he being so nice? What does he want? Nobody's this generous for free. That's the dark side of modern relationships. Kindness, when it's too consistent, raises red flags. Not because there's something wrong with you, but because most people have been hurt by fakes. In a world full of manipulation, masks, and ulterior motives, authentic goodness feels suspicious. The Stoics warned us not to be addicted to praise, because eventually, you'll be punished for the very virtues they once admired. Be content with being thought foolish and ignorant about some things. Epictetus. People don't trust what they don't understand. And in a society that rewards ego, confrontation, and personal gain, someone who constantly gives without asking for anything back is seen as dangerous. He must want something. He must be hiding something. And so, the very thing you hoped would connect you to others, your compassion, becomes a reason they pull away. Not because they're cruel, but because they've learned that in most people, kindness is a cover. And when yours isn't, they won't know what to do with it. The truth is, kindness without boundaries isn't virtue. It's self-erasure. And the world doesn't need more men who disappear into other people's problems. It needs men who are firm, grounded, who know when to give and when to walk away. So ask yourself this: is your kindness coming from strength or from fear? Because the answer will define the rest of your life. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic wisdom. See you in the next video.